Hello everyone and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Dawn Pauly from D Pauly Designs and I'm so glad you could join me. I'm excited to be working with the Altenew Build a Garden series. This is the Alluring Orchids bundle. You get this awesome mini blending tool and I have to say this is my first time using the Altenew blending brush and I found I really like it. It has really nice bristles. They're not hard and they're not too soft. I like that they're white so you can see what color you used with it. While you do only get one in the set, ScrapbookPal does sell more of them, or if you purchase the other bundles from the Altenew Build a Garden series, you will get one free with every bundle to build your collection, which is nice. Now let's look at the stamp set. This is a huge stamp set. The flower alone measures 4 by 7.5, which covers a 5 by 7 card easily, but can also be used for a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card as well. You get some really great sentiments with it. What's great about the bundles is Altenew also gives you this instruction pamphlet. And in this pamphlet, you're going to get 2 card fronts that you can cut out to quickly make 2 cards with. And I also love how it gives you the color combinations on what they used for the 2 card fronts. So you can see what colors work great together. And finally, it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to use the stencils and what layer of the flower each stencil covers. So this pamphlet could really come in handy. And finally, you get the stencils. You get 5 layers with the stencils, and each layer is numbered at the top so you know what order to use the stencils in. In my opinion, this is a fantastic bundle that you just can't go wrong with. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp out my image. I'm making a 5 by 7 card because I wanted to show you how big and beautiful this stamp is and how it easily fills up a 5 by 7 card. Once I have my stamp where I want it to go, I'm going to stamp it with some obsidian black ink a couple of times just to make sure that I get a really good impression because this stamp is so big. And look at how beautiful that came out. I just love it. Okay, now let's do some stenciling. The first thing I do is take stencil number 1 and I spray the back of it with some pixie spray. If you don't have pixie spray, then you can tape your stencil down so it doesn't move around. These stencils are very easy to line up to the flower. I'm going to start out by using some blue seagrass as the base color of my flower. As you can see, it goes on really nice, and I'm using the Altenew blending tool for this base color. Once I have this base color down, I'm going to leave the stencil on, and I'm actually going to bring in a slightly darker color. Now, technically, you're supposed to go to stencil number 2, and you would normally use the same color or go for a little bit darker color, but I wanted to show you that you could do whatever you like with this stencil. And I chose to add a little bit darker color onto these same petals. At this step, if I were to make this card again, I would put a little bit more down of the darker color onto the petals so you would be able to see the 2 tones I used a little bit better, because on the third stencil it kind of covers it up a little bit when I put the darkest color down. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Now I went ahead and put stencil number 2 down, and I'm going to do the same exact steps. I'm going to first use my lightest color on all of the petals of the flower, and then once I do that, I'm going to again bring in the next darkest color, which I'm using Ocean Waves. I'm also using these Spellbinder mini blending brushes. I could have used the same blending brush that I used for the lightest color, but I didn't want to. I like to have a couple of brushes for each color family, and I like to have a light blue blending tool and a dark blue, but that's just me. I went ahead and put stencil number 3 down. This is where I put down my third darkest color. This is called Dusk, and it's such a beautiful color. I actually started out putting down a little bit of the color and then I found that I really liked it. So I started to really put a lot of the color down, but that's when I kind of realized it overshadowed the second darkest color that I had used. And that's why I said in the last step that I wished I had used more of the second darkest color going higher up on the petal. Okay, I'm already on stencil number 4. Now you can use whatever color you want for the labellum. I chose to make it the same color as my base color, which is the sea glass. It was my lightest color that I had used, but some people make it a totally different color. And a lot of people will use yellow here, but you can use whatever color you like. I also decided to add a little bit of the second lightest color, Ocean Waves, like I did with stencil number 1 and 2, just so they kind of matched. On to stencil number 5. I'm quickly coloring in the center of the labellum with fresh lemon. It's kind of like a light yellow. Then you flip the stencil around to finish the labellum. It actually does this to allow you to make the center of the labellum different colors, which is really nice. So I chose to go with a little bit of a darker yellow, and it was called Sunray, and it just gives it like a little bit of a two-tone look, which is nice. And to finish off the stenciling, I put stencil number 5 down, and I'm going to color in the stems of the flower with some florist glades. If you're not great with Copic coloring, then stenciling the flower is definitely the way to go. It's fast and it's easy and it comes out absolutely beautiful. Just look at how this turned out. To finish off the flower, I'm going to stamp these speckles onto the labellum. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is line up the flowers onto the petals. 3 of them are attached to make it easy to stamp and line up, and 2 of them are actually separate smaller stamps. I used the darkest color. It's called Desert Night, and I'm only stamping it 1 time because I really don't want it to be too dark. I think the speckles really finish this flower off really nice. I used some black ink to stamp this thank you sentiment onto the front of the card, and I just stamped it a couple of times to give it a good impression. I adhere the card front to a piece of black cardstock to make a border around the front of the card. I adhere the entire card front to a 5x7 card base. And to finish off the card, I'm using these Spellbinders self-adhesive pearls. These are called Fashion Blush. I use a crafting knife to pick them up because I think it just makes it really easy to put them on the card. And that's going to complete my card for today. I think this card came out lovely and it was so easy to make using the stencils. I want to thank you for joining me on the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel. I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the card. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel and their other social media platforms so you don't miss out on any great inspirational videos. Also, check out their website for any new releases they might have. And as always, I want to thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.